Politics is everywhere. It is in your home, on your TV, on your phone, at your family dinner, whether you like it or not. Everywhere, and there's no escaping it. But sometimes it's hidden. It is in the electro music you listen to at a club, the time zone we succumb to. It is even in the Disney princesses I grew up with. The few seconds of silence I started the speech with is political. The fact that I wasn't talking about the genocide in Gaza is me indirectly not talking about the genocide in Gaza. Everything is political, or at least nowadays everything has a political aspect. This phrase has become more relevant nowadays because of the impact of political media. However, this media has been around for a while. Newspapers and printed announcements have significantly impacted governmental discourse and public opinion formation ever since the 15th century, around the same time as the Gutenberg Bible. A few centuries after that, radio enabled people to view more humane connection through their candidates through their voice, instead of their printed words. Later, television changed politics by televising presidential debates, introducing more live publicity, and turning the verbal press into a visual one. Currently, news that is meant to inform has been polarized. Fox News and NBC have been very open about their takes. Lines have been blurred between the news site, the politician, and the public. Social media has allowed real-time fact-checking and viral spread of information of political content. However, this new online era has given the current leaders of the world digital footprints, and canceling culture has ruined various careers and endorsements. Because why should I vote for the same person a canceled person is voting for? There are threats coming from model-day politics already, AI being a big one. It has made its debut already. After the US tariff situation, Chinese propaganda created by AI has gone viral. These videos consist of the stereotypical American man working in a sweatshop, inherently replacing Chinese labor. While it seems harmless now, this new discovery will question the authenticity of outlets. It will require new fact-checking processes. There are people to this day that trust fake news. Imagine how much more convincing artificial intelligence will be. My mom sends me AI videos of dogs dancing, thinking they're real. If she can't distinguish the real from the fake, that could jeopardize her stance. It could jeopardize anyone's, really. Music, as well, along with literature, has found its place in having a voice. During times of oppression, artists have found their way to avoid censorship with symbolism and poetic secrecy. In this century, censorship has dissipated, and political performances have become much more explicit. There was a lot of commotion about Kendrick Lamar's halftime show at the Super Bowl, which was executed in front of the current president of the United States. He had a black Uncle Sam explaining to everyone how everyone is playing the great American game. Another example is Charli XCX's album, Brat, which gained popularity after she tweeted, "Kamala is Brat," a vague but politically charged comment linking her album to former US Vice President Kamala Harris. The tweet went viral, not just among fans, but within political discourse, showing how even a pop star statement can spark political interpretation. Film also plays a role in modern day politics. I believe that all of this year's Best Picture nominees were political. Movies about immigration after World War II, Brazilian dictatorships, sex workers, trans drug dealers, and African American jails. Wicked might be the only exception. But today I want to reference a specific movie. Don't Look Up, a 2021 film directed by Adam McKay, sums up society in a satire world. The plot is about a deadly asteroid headed to Earth, and instead of combating the problem, humanity splits themselves into those that buy into the threat and those that don't. While this might sound absurd, this has happened with us. With COVID, for example. Some didn't believe there was a virus until they were already dead. Some believed that the vaccine could turn you into a lizard-like creature. This film critiques the gullibility and stupidity of all of us, how easy it is to turn people against each other with some misinformation and good public speaking. We have divided ourselves between left or right, Republican or liberal, capitalist or communist, right or wrong, depending on who you ask. Because of one political principle, people are defined. There have been countless instances where I've heard things like, "Oh, but she's a Trumpy," and "Oh, she defends abortion," and "Oh, but his family is very leftist." But then it gets too absurd because people assume someone's side because of details like, oh, but he's wearing rainbow socks, and oh, she listens to Taylor Swift, and oh, they wear a lot of red. Red. I remember one Christmas at my grandparents' house that I wore red. My grandfather scolded me because red is no longer Christmas. It's no longer love. Red is communism. If people can't wear whatever color they want during the holidays, we are in a broken society. We are being labeled by our political opinions. To make it on a more personal note, this isn't just separating us as a society. This is breaking up friend groups and families and relationships. This is becoming cultural. We avoid conversations like these because we are scared to insult someone. This modern-day society limits freedom of speech, something that people have fought for. We now fear. I know that my school's student council didn't give a summary of the US election because they were afraid of being too controversial. In this speech, I tried to be as impartial as I could, not too progressive and not too conservative. I'm worried about family members being offended by my definition of a genocide in the beginning. I love speaking about politics, but it's frustrating when people don't see my side. And the frustration isn't because of disagreement. It is about the lack of open-mindedness. People are so determined about everything, they don't consider other points of view. I remember I was part of a Harkness where we were discussing a book in English. I argued and found common ground and stated my points, but other students ignored them. If I can't get my point across about a fictional story because of stubbornness, how am I supposed to have a conversation about politics? How are presidential elections going to be honorable instead of becoming memes and blatant insults? How are we supposed to work together if an asteroid comes to Earth? We are now judging people based on what they write on their ballots. We are dividing ourselves between red or blue. Einstein said that human stupidity is infinite, forever. And if we as a society continue this way, I might begin to agree. So please, if you are to take anything from this TED Talk, remember this. Everything is political. However, politics isn't everything. Thank you.